Paulie's World of Sports Sims proudly presents the Grand Slam Wrestling Match of the Week. And welcome to the latest installment of Grand Slam Wrestling's Match of the Week. I am Big Paulie. Today we are in, virtually again, Dothan, Alabama. And we have a World Heavyweight title match between Farmer Burns, who's been running roughshod over everybody, Loathy's last. Let's see, we are now in week 35 of play, which is technically like late September, and I'm doing this in early August. I like to go ahead a little bit. He's been running roughshod over everybody. He's been champion now 61 weeks. It's the longest reign of any champion in GSW history, in the 3 years or so that I have been doing this. Today he's got a stiff challenge. He's got Thesz, but Thesz has never beaten Burns at all in their previous matchups. We're going to make Burns a tweener here, even though Thesz also play heel. I think the fans in Dothan, Alabama are really desperate for a title change after seeing Burns, who's like the Ken Jennings of GSW. You know, he was the Jeopardy champion over and over and over again, and it was such a big shock to see him finally lose to somebody on Jeopardy. Burns is the champion, of course. Thesz has held many championships in GSW, but never the World Championship. Thesz was a 6-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion, and he held the record for most championship reigns in GSW up until Harley Race won his 7th title. He would eventually win 8. I think he won his 7th title around 1983. So we will do our little move trades here. Of course, Burns is a master, what they used to call in the old days, hookers. In fact, that was the title of Lou Thesz's book, his last book, called Hooker. I don't know if he wrote any books prior to that, but his book covering his wrestling career was called Hooker. Someone who could shoot to settle a grudge or to defend himself against someone trying to create a grudge. Grudge. Not grudge, we gotta leave out of this. But anyway, that's your matchup right now. We have a one-fall 60-minute championship match going for you. Burns is the champion. Thesz is the challenger who must win the title by pinfall or submission within 60 minutes. Should he go to a time limit draw, he will move up and automatically become the number 1 contender, the old Gordon Soley rule, where Gordon used to say say if Harley Race was in Florida and he would face somebody like Louis Estea, well, if Estea should somehow get a time limit draw against Harley Race, then he would move up to the very top of the ratings. That's my Gordon Soley impersonation. Rest in peace, Gordon. We lost him 20 years ago, Monday, July 27th, 2000. That just passed during the week. And off we go. Heavyweight championship match. Burns against Thesz. Thesz starts out with a rolling reverse, and no way you're going to get Burns this early. Remember, we go 60. I think the longest match we've had on these Match of the Weeks have been 25 minutes or so. So this might take a while to get settled, and that's kind of the way we like it. Legal chop by Thesz. He has started out strong. He now goes to an illegal arm hold. Burns comes back with an illegal neck hold and a pinning opportunity with a backslide. And very rare you're going to get Thesz that early. That's why I think the match is going to take a while. Legal arm hold by Burns. Legal chop by Lou Thesz. Thesz with some arm holds outside the ring. Guys, get it back in the ring if you're going to do that. Submission move. And it was countered by Burns, who makes a nice little counter. Action happening outside the ring. And Burns shoves Thesz was pushed back to the floor by Thesz, actually. Legal chop by Burns. Legal leg hold by Burns. Legal throw by Burns. Burns just does the little things. Not the big moves you see in wrestling today, but he does all of these little things to perfection. Legal throw by Burns, legal chop by Burns, legal forearm by Burns, nearly a pinning opportunity. Actually, about a 1 in 20 chance that Thesz would get pinned there on the 3 count. And He has built up a nice little points lead. He has 20 points off, and Thesz has 57. Remember, the lower you go, the more likely you will get pinned in Wrestling's Finest, the game we use. And sleeper hold, and you're not going to get Thesz this early, and I'll just run it through just to show it to you. Legal arm hold by Burns, legal neck hold by Burns. Like I said, he is just a master craftsman. Legal forearm by Burns, but countered. Submission move by Burns, and you're not going to get Burns on a submission, whether it's 8 minutes into the bout or a week into the bout. Submission move, again, you're not going to get him. We'll just play that out anyway. Legal chop by Thesz. Arm holds again outside the rings by Thesz. Both men keeping it technical even when they get outside the ring. More arm holds by Thesz. Specialty move. Double wrist lock by Burns. Well, you're not going to get Thesz this early. No pin. Legal throw by Burns. Legal chop by Thesz. Submission try by Thesz. And again, submission tries here. You're not going to see too many successful submissions if you put these two in 100 matches. Legal chop by Thesz. We're 13 minutes into the bout. Legal neck hold by Burns. Legal chop by Burns. Legal arm hold by Burns. Legal neck hold by Burns. No action. Legal throw by Thesz. I forgot to summarize the matches, and we will do that before we go. We had 10 matches before this on the card in Dauphin, Alabama. I was so eager to get to the action that I forgot all about it, but we will get to it once this match ends. Legal arm hold by Burns. We did have a title change. Specialty move, double wrist lock. Legal forearm by Burns. Submission try here by Burns, no dice. We had Youngblood and Steamboat, who just won the Southern Tag Team titles. They lost to Bobby Shane and Buddy Colt, and they are the new Southern champions. They were World Tag Team champions prior to this, but now Shane and Colt are the new Southern Tag Team champions. That was probably the most notable outcome we have had. A twist, a chin twist by Burns, a chin lock, chin twist. No action there. No action there. Legal leg hold by Thesz. Legal arm hold by Thesz. Submission hold, countered by Burns. Legal knee by Burns, and we're 20 minutes into the bout. Headlock, countered by Thesz. Thesz again with the arm holds outside the ring. It's interesting to see them keeping it technical even when they go outside the ring. Auto control loss by Thesz. It's on opening, but Farmer Burns just takes control. And even against Thesz, Farmer Burns does not have too much trouble against him. No action. No action. Punches outside the ring by Thesz. Now that's a little more like it, guys. No action. Kick to the chest by Burns, by Thesz onto Burns, and he loses 5 points of stamina. Burns has only lost 93 points. Thesz has lost 155, so they were about where they were when we last checked it. Submission move by Burns, and you're not going to get Thesz that easy. Arm hold by Burns, neck hold by Burns, knee by Burns. So Burns piling up the moves. Pile driver. Who taught Burns that? No pin. Actioning happening outside the rings. Oh, Burns brings out the brass knuckles. My goodness, that's kind of uncouth behavior out of the champion, but the champion wants to keep his title. Leg hold by Burns. Leg hold again by Burns. Wrestlers lock up after pushing and pulling each other. And a clean break. I think even Burns was shocked that he found brass knuckles and used them a little bit. He's usually a stand-up guy. Not on that occasion. Burns slips in the canvas, but Thesz was slow to respond. Probably because he's been getting bent into a pretzel most of the match. Once again, no action. Suplex attempt. Another one for you, Gordon. Suplex! 1, 2, no there. Nothing there. And we're almost halfway through the 60-minute time limit. Leg hold by Thesz. A whip into the ropes by Thesz. I don't think you're going to get him there with a 3-count chance. The way you read the pin ratings and the submission ratings is if you get it less than 15, you go to the 2 count. If you go less than 13, you go to the 3 count. And if this number was more than 0 and you got underneath that, that would be a pin. Leg drop by Thesz. Specialty move, the STF, the step over toe hold face lock. And Burns was able to counter out of that. Illegal punches by Burns. Legal neck hold by Burns. Legal neck hold by Burns again. Thesz tries a kick, but it was countered. Legal throw by Burns. Specialty move. Spinning toe hold. This could be it. It is. Submission. It was the longest bout in GSW Match of the Week history, but Farmer Burns again retains the title. 33-14. I beg your pardon. 33-14 on the submission. And he lives to defend his championship another day. We'll quickly go through the other results. Sid Vicious, better known as Psycho Sid in WWF in the 90s. He went to a double countout with Mr. Wrestling number 2, so it wasn't a bad debut for Vicious, but he won't automatically be back next week. Dusty Rhodes in a little bit of a tailspin. He lost to Lex Luger, 13:49 on a superplex. The double countout. I'm going to show you that you could check match results on here. And we forgot to put the time in on the match between 2 and 7:37 was the time. So I'm just going to manually show you that you can, if you have, I use Notepad++ for my GSW stuff, and for other things I use just plain old Notepad. And a time at about 7:37. The Young Bucks and America's Most Wanted. America's Most Wanted won by DQ in 15:36. Kevin Sullivan's been on a tear as of late. He has Rock Hunter managing him, and he beats Joe Blanchard in 4:15. The father of Tully Blanchard. Some of you may have heard of him if you're old school fans such as I. Roddy Piper won by DQ over Tojo Yamamoto. Tojo Yamamoto is a babyface in GSW right now, as his tag team partner Jerry Jarrett has been on leave for a little bit. And in Wrestling's Finest, some of our stars have babyface cards and heel cards and cards for different points of their career, as is the case with Roddy Piper or Kevin Sullivan. We go to Roddy Piper. In fact, he won by DQ. Kernodle and Slaughter beat the Time Slitters after they interfered in the AMW match that gave AMW the automatic win. And Kernodle and Slaughter were kind of hoping that Steamboat and Youngblood would win the title match tonight, but that did not happen. They beat the Time Slitters, and the time on that was 10:09. Dr. Jerry Graham has been on a tear as of late. He pulled off one of the biggest upsets in recent memory in the GSW South region, where this is all being held. This is the South Circuit. We have 4 circuits: the North, the East, the South, and the West. And the world champion rotates around between those 4 circuits. Not defended as frequently as the circuit championships, but it's usually special when the world champs come to town. Double countout with El Santo. El Santo was the long-reigning junior heavyweight champion for a while. Of course, Red Bastien holds the championship now. Danny Hodge has also been on a tear as of late. He defeated Gene Kaniski with an Oklahoma roll at 15 minutes and 18 seconds. Kaniski was the NWA World Heavyweight Champion for several years, beating Lou Thesz and losing to Dory Funk Jr. Youngblood and Steamboat, as I mentioned, they lost to Bobby Shane and Buddy Colt. They will get AMW next week in their first title defense. The Jerry Lawler-Terry Funk match for the Southern title, which was triggered an automatic rematch when Lawler lost by DQ to Funk. But this time Funk was a little antsy to get at Lawler, and the pre-match attack went sour, and Funk lost by DQ. He won't drop very far in the ratings, but still, it's enough. He has to get back in line to get another shot at the championship. We pull the future challengers from the preliminary matches, and whoever had the best result, like let's say in this instance, Jerry Lawler is going to need another babyface, so not a babyface, but a heel to face, and the best heel result of the night was Kevin Sullivan. And if we have more than one babyface or heel that depending on which opponent the champion needs, whoever is the highest in the rating, if there are duplicate results, like for instance Lex Luger beat Dusty Rhodes, and Kevin Sullivan also beat, who did he face? Kevin Sullivan. My memory has all of a sudden gone. Joe Blanchard. Okay. Uh, Sullivan will be higher in the ratings, so in a case of a duplicate outcome, that's the highest rated wrestler will get the shot, and that will be Kevin Sullivan next week. And of course, as you just saw, Farmer Burns in 33-14 upends Lou Thesz to keep the World Heavyweight Championship. So I hope you enjoyed today's bout. I was happy to do it for you, and we should be doing another bout next weekend at some point. I do not know which bout I will be doing. It will depend on my work schedule, and I will be doing HTFL games during the week, and I will be doing the other projects at least once on the weekends or on my days off. And if I have a day off between weeks in the HTFL, I will do one of my other projects. So that's pretty much the schedule right now. Let's just check the post-match action. Nothing happened. This has been Big Paulie coming to you. We wish you Godspeed and God bless whenever you see this and wherever you're seeing this from. And we'll catch you again real soon. Bye-bye for now, everybody.